All right, we're good.
All right. So when we're speaking about referrals, it's important to know that people love to give referrals, but typically they won't unless you ask. So that's one of the steps. There's also other steps. It's like a combination of sales, making a request, and then coaching, because they'll run into their own roadblocks along the way that stop them from actually making the referral, because they don't want to be salesy. They don't want to be pushy. They don't want to irritate their friends or make a withdrawal. And so it's important to teach and train them, one, to empower the person you're asking for a referral, how to break through their own shit, and two, empower them on how to reach out to the person so that it feels natural and comfortable for them to do that. So you're kind of empowering a couple of layers. You're showing up in a particular way that'll actually let it happen. Then you're empowering and coaching the person that you're asking for the referral on how to approach their people so that it's a truly warm lead, that they've done half the sales process for you, and you've helped them move through their own shit so that they can have the courage and the ability to do it, the right mindsets to do it, and the skill set so that they can do it in a way that it actually works. So most people don't know how to influence people in a good way. So one of the principles is, what's in it for them? You speaking in what's in it for the person that's giving you the referral, and then you training the person that's giving you the referral on how to speak to their referral in the terms of what's in it for the referral, right? So you're passing that down 2 generations. So the first step is to ask. Like, right, what I started with was people love to give referrals, but if you don't ask, they typically don't do it. The far majority of the time, unless you ask, it don't happen. Well, beyond that is people always have good intentions, but unless you get them committed, then nothing happens, right? And so getting them to actually commit the chance
You're frozen, Christopher. So just a second.
Apparently, I need a really good laugh this morning because I find this hilarious.
But if I say, okay, by when will you?
Hey, Christopher, you're like so.
What do we got? We got a pause.
Yeah, you're so
like
loud.
Frozen.
I'm sorry. You're for like probably 30 seconds. You're like a robot. It's like oh.
You can tell you've been going.
Oh, now
He
he's
was like,
gone.
"Fuck you
We
guys!
lost him.
Fuck you guys for laughing at me. I'm leaving."
Like, this is good shit. You guys are laughing at me.
I'm not a fucking robot. Fuck you.
Oh, that was much needed this morning.
Malfunctioning.
Normally, Zoom doesn't go that long with just like half packets. That is so funny. Oh, man. Dude, that was epic.
That was so awesome.
Does anyone remember exactly what he was saying before it dropped?
Let's see. I remember what's in it for them.
Mm-hmm.
So like really coaching them through the process and empowering them and letting them know what's in it for them.
What happened? I'm so sorry. Your wife's leftovers. Didn't realize it would cut it off. What's up, buds?
Dude, what's up, dude? That's awesome.
Oh,
It might be better if you call in, Christopher, because you're still lagging out pretty bad.
Effing technology.
Technology.
They don't make technology like they used to.
Back in my day.
All right, let me call in.
I just threw it in the Facebook Messenger chat that we were having.
Thanks.
Back in my day, I used the telegraph. Beep, 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 beep.
Carrier pigeon.
When you
I do believe that was used this week already, so
That was a badass pigeon.
it really was.
It flew a long way.
And very quickly, I must say. Very, very quickly.
Must have caught the jet stream about 1.5 miles up because it was.
Right?
And I didn't even know I could speak pigeon, but I could.
Amazing.
That's all I think.
Brilliant, Jonathan.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I come up with that shit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So what was super funny when I cut out? Was it a funny face?
You're like talking robotic, like.
It was like consistent pulses of sound, like about every half second to a second. It was like, but it just like, it was like changing tone, and it literally went on for like a minute. So like the first 10 seconds, it was kind of funny. By 30 seconds, it was hilarious. By a minute, it was just like we couldn't capture any words. It was just like
System overload. Needed a reboot, huh? All right. So where did we leave off?
We were at the main theme was like what's in it for them, and really coaching them through the process and empowering them through the process.
Yeah. So many clients, typically I could assign them the most important breakthrough ever. Do this process, but if I don't say by when will you have this done, the chances of them actually doing it is slim to none. And so literally, if you want this process to be effective, it requires hand-holding all the way through, clear to completion. Mm-hmm. You can't be flaky and be like, hey, would you give me a referral? Yeah, sure. Awesome. Thanks, man. And then you move along like you're not going to get shit. Instead, you get to be very firm. It's like being a solid coach who holds their feet to the fire and follows up and makes sure that you leave no back door. So it's like, hey, Brandon, blah, blah, blah. See that you said you were willing to make a referral. Would you tell me a little bit about how the encounter went and what the biggest takeaways were for you? Awesome. That's so cool. What do you feel like the biggest value for you was in all of that? Epic. So glad you received that. Would you be willing to make a referral or some referrals? You know, or another way to ask, even a better way, because now to speak in what's in it for them, you say, are there friends or family members or loved ones that you have that you would love to have received that same gift and blessing that you received? Right? Because people that love people want their loved people to receive the awesomeness that they received. So now you're speaking in what's in it for them. Instead of asking for a referral, you're asking them if there's other people they would like you to bless for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So I designed yesterday, I was on the phone with Adam Smart, and he does this generator backup system that is better than most generator backup systems because most generator backup systems for people's houses, it's like for emergency preparedness people. And so, you know, a lot of people do food storage and different shit, guns, ammo, and all that's fine. And if you don't have a generator backup system, then you're probably going to be in the cold without power, and it's not going to be that enjoyable of an experience. Well, then some people hook up a generator backup system, but they're plumbed into the gas system, the natural gas system that's plumbed into their house. But if you had an earthquake, all those gas lines break, and now your backup generator system doesn't mean shit because you don't have gas to it. So he doesn't plumb into the natural gas system. He plumbs into a big ass propane tank that stores, because you can store propane for years, and that way you're truly protected for a long time to have backup that's not contingent upon any other system working. It's a self-contained system. So basically his sales process will be educating them on that. His referral system, when I was inspired yesterday to help him design his referral system, it was, he sells it, and then he tells them, hey, and part of my program is a referral system. I automatically get referrals, so be thinking about that. So that's planted, a seed planted in the very beginning of their relationship with a new customer who just enrolled. Hey, I'm so glad that you're choosing to protect yourself. It's not only important for us to protect you, but to protect your loved ones. And part of our program is that we don't only want to protect you, but we want to protect those that you love most. So be thinking about who else you love that, you know, if a tough time hits, that you want them to be blessed as well, because we'll be following up later to get a list from you about that. And this is a system I learned from a real estate dude who is one of the most busy and successful real estate dudes I've ever heard of, who requires referrals. And he just lets them know right up front. He's like, I do referrals. Everyone I work with, I've got a waiting list to work with me. Everyone wants to work with me. And one of the requirements that I have that helps me move your home better and to better serve is for you to get, for me to always get referrals. So be thinking about that. So we plant the seed up front so that they're planning on that and they just know that as part of the process. Then I said, yeah, the first sales dude who makes that first sell to do that emergency backup generator plants that seed in the very first moment. Then the person shows up to install the generator on schedule a week later or whatever. And at the end of it, that person who installs the generator says, hey, you know, my office is going to be calling you to make sure everything was satisfactory and that you got everything that you wanted. And they're also going to be asking you for which of your family members and loved ones you also want to have protected and truly safe from this situation as well. So here's a paper. Make sure you fill this out. They'll be calling you within the next, 24, 48, 72 hours, whatever the time frame is. Now the seed's been planted twice. Then the office calls and asks, hey, so how was Tom's service? How would you rate his professionality? How would you rate his cleanliness? How would you rate his timeliness? Awesome. And now it's important for us, again, that we protect your loved ones and give this gift to them as well. Who do you have? I'm assuming you've completed your card. Who do you have on your list that you would like to also receive this? So notice the assumptive close. Like, I'm not asking for something, I'm offering to give something. I'm not asking for a referral. I made it clear every step of the way, we're coming for referrals, be prepared. And then I'm wording it very assumptive. I'm not like, hey, would you give me a referral? It's like, hey, I'm calling now for the referrals that we've discussed. It's very assumptive, like, of course you're giving me referrals. That's what we do. And then and then also my wording is very much what's in it for them, not, hey, will you, can I get those referrals from you now? It's like, great, I'm calling to get those other people that you've chosen that you also want to be safe and protected. And then the rest of the conversation is to set it up so that there's no back door. So they either say, yep, I got the list. So some people will say, yep, I filled out the list and I've got it right here. I'm so ready. I've got Betty and Tommy and Joey, and here's their numbers, and I've contacted them for you. They know to expect your call. And then there's going to be someone in between that's like, yeah, they did half the homework. And then there's going to be some people who are like, oh, shit, I forgot about that. So let's talk about the ones that forgot about it. It's like, okay, great, no problem. Let's just set up a game plan to get that handled so we can make sure that they get the protection they need. So how much time do you feel like you need? You know, how many people do you feel like that you feel inspired to share this with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. And by when can you contact these people and let them know that we will be contacting them? We don't want them to feel like this is some weird sales thing. We want them to feel like it's you looking out for their best interest and making a deposit rather than you dumping some salesman on them. Oh, yeah, totally. See how I'm speaking what's in it for them. Like, I'm wanting to help them help their friends and have that be a smooth transition for them and their friends rather than an awkward, hey, I gave out your information to some sales dude. And then I'm positioning myself not as the naggy sales dude who's begging for a referral who's going to now bug their friends. I'm positioning myself as the ally who's helped them, who now is there to help their friends and is helping them to know how to approach their friends in such a way that it's a gift, not a takeaway. It's a deposit, not a withdrawal. So then are you guys still with me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Great. So then the third person on the team on Adam's team that's now the office person that's doing this survey, then asking for these referrals. In the worst case scenario, the person that had done zero homework, you're like, okay, so by when, we coach them through whatever we got to coach them through to identify whatever they get to identify to be able to know the next step. So if they have zero people on the list and they can't even think of someone, my next step is to coach them through who do they feel inclined to reach out to. And to help them establish at least a preliminary list. And then I might even plant seeds like, cool, we've got 3. Spend a little more time, see if you can come up with a couple others. And it's important that you reach out to them and let them know the importance of what's happening and let them know that we're going to be calling so that they don't have that pushy salesman, hey, asshole, you gave out my number experience. Instead, they have the awesome, thanks for looking out for me and hooking me up with this. You could even teach them how to position it like, hey, I got this awesome deal with this awesome thing, and because you're my friend, I was able to get you a free consult that may allow you to get the deal as well, right? So there may be a way that it makes the referral actually feel special if you empowered the client to refer in such a way and position in such a way that it was more of a special offer versus a nagging phone conversation. So then if I'm Adam's team member in the office who's doing that follow-up call, I want to have them commit to a specific time. Okay, so next actions, we've got 3 people that you think would be a good fit. Spend a little more time and see if you can come up with a couple more that would be really important for them to receive it, that you would love to have received this blessing, this benefit, this result. And then complete the rest of that list. And then next step would be to make sure you reach out to them so that they feel comfortable and it is that smooth transition. And here's how you will reach out to them. And then here's, you may ask them like, can I give you a little bit of coaching and feedback on how to have this conversation so that it'll be most useful for you and take all the awkwardness out of it? Oh, yes, please. Right? Then I empower them on how to have that conversation so that it's really smooth and easy and it overcomes any fears and resistance they may have. Then I get them to commit. Cool. By when can you have these conversations with these 3 people, these 5 people? Well, I don't know. Maybe the next few days. Okay. Could you have it done by Friday? Probably not. Okay. How about by Monday? Yeah, I could do that. Great. So Monday, end of business, 5:00 p.m. Okay, sure, right? See, I narrow down even more and zero in so that there's no back door, no lame-ass excuse. Like, they know there's a deadline, Monday at 5. So in their mind, they're like, I just committed to a very solid and clear commitment. You don't leave a vague commitment like, yeah, I'll get it done sometime. Yeah, I'll get it done Monday sometime. Like, no, Monday by 5. The certainty and clarity of that commitment will help them follow through. Then I don't want to feel awkward about following up with them, so I want to make sure that I mention, great, I will plan to call you. If I haven't heard from you by Monday at 5, before Monday at 5, I will call you at that time. Or I will follow up with you. If I don't hear from you by Monday, close the business, I'll follow up with you and help you take the next steps to make sure your family is protected. Right? So I'm speaking to what's in it for them, and I'm planting the seed and making it known. I will be following up so that they don't feel like, man, this guy won't leave me alone. He keeps bugging me. He's following up. Like, they just know. I already told them. This is what's going to happen. So now they're like, there's no escaping this shit. I can't just run from it. He's going to follow up with me. I better get this shit done. I just committed to a very specific day and time, and I'm going to be getting a call, and I don't want to deal with saying, oh, sorry, I didn't do it. So the chances of them doing it is very high at this point. And on top of that, we've alleviated their fears and concerns, and we've empowered them to take away the awkwardness. And we planted the seed to make it very normal for me to follow up without that being awkward. So then hopefully they just do it and notify us. And then I follow up, and boom, we get them. And they're like, yep, I reached out to all 5 of them. One of them said he wasn't interested. The other 4 said they're good to go. Call them at any time. And we may even want to empower them, like, while you're on with them, figure out the best days and times to reach them. That way we already know that information. And another thing that would be good is that friend can sell their friend way better than I can. If I'm a salesman who's calling to sell them, it's a whole other story than if that friend already sold them on it, and I'm just reaffirming what the friend said. So if you can empower the initial friend, the client who's making the referral, to say, you know what, and when you reach out to them, would you be willing to convey why you think it's so important for them to protect themselves and why you chose to buy this product or service? Now, people buy it logically and then justify emotionally. They buy emotionally and then justify logically later. And so they're going to be the best salesman because they just sold themselves and they bought it. You know, if you're a Mormon, you want people to be Mormon. If you're a purger, you want people to be purgers. People like to enroll others into their vision and what they're doing. So having that client who's making the referral, if you can set that up as part of it, like, would you be willing to tell this family member or loved one why it was so important to you to make this investment and why you chose to do it and why you chose to do it now versus later? That would be freaking key, so that when they do reach out to that person, they're like, yeah, I just installed, you know, maybe even say, you know, tell them, let them know that you installed it and that you would love to see them install it and why you chose to install it and why you feel like that was such an important decision to make at this time. That way they do most of the selling for you and you're just following up like, hey, you know, Tom said that he wanted you to, you know, Tom, we were working with your cousin Tom. That would be another important thing. Like, what's your relationship to Tom? If we can get that information, if we can get Tom to fill out in the form, if we get our client to fill out in the form, this person is my cousin, my aunt, my mom, my sister, then we can say, hey, you know, we helped your brother Tom install his generator backup system. He felt like it was very important. He really wanted us to reach out to you so that you could receive the same security and safety because of his love for you. And so we were just calling to follow up as a gift to Tom to see if we could also help you and your family, because he said that you had kids and that he wanted to make sure that you and your kids were safe as well. Right? See, the sale's pretty much done at this point, and we haven't even begun the conversation. So that's my initial long-ass toss. Questions, comments, requests?
That was awesome.
Yes, it was. I'm just over here making notes on like one, yes, how to do it, but also making sure that I'm capturing the questions that get to be put on the form. So super appreciate the way that you went through that.
Awesome. Thank you.
So Brandon, you're going to be like the one having these conversations, and the way the form is built, it's not exactly, so he's talking about planting the seeds ahead of time. Some of these people won't have those seeds planted ahead of time. The seed planting is, would you refer? And they say yes. And so I want you to like check in, like you might get to listen to this recording and type up some of the wording and all that stuff, but I want you to check in what do you feel like you need in order to get on the phone with someone in the next few days even and start this process?
And I want to add a little to that, though, before you answer that, Brandon. Jonathan, let's figure out how we can implement those things. Like when we get a new client, let's make it a part of our intake process to let them know, hey, we love helping people. And it's very important as you up level that your loved ones also up level. Otherwise, you're going to find distance between you and your loved ones. And your success is determined by the 5 people you most hang out with. So you have a choice. Help all those that you love most to up level with you, or take the risk of outgrowing them and having to choose to leave them behind and find a whole new social circle. And we find it here at Ascension very important to help the whole planet ascend. So just so you know, we will be reaching out for referrals of loved ones that you would love to see come on the journey with you and receive the up-leveling and gifts that you've just now committed to. So be aware, we will be contacting you for that list. Here's a form to fill out. I want you to tune in over the next, 10, 20, 30, 40, 60, 90 days. Who all do you know, whatever the term is, who all do you know that's best going to be served and that you would most like to have up-level with you so that you can up-level your environment and also assist your loved ones to do the same. Fill out this list so we can implement this very same system for ourselves. Planting the seed very beginning, and then have a system where, cool, maybe we wait 30 days and rock their world, and they're like, holy shit, or 60 or 90, or maybe we wait till they're at a pinnacle moment when they're like, holy shit, like right now, the Taylors, Dominic and Melania Taylor, are perfect. They're like, been working with me for 3 or 4 months. When they got with me, they were about ready to divorce. They were about ready to shut their business down. They were living in a shitty apartment. They had a shitty car. Now they have a new car. They live in a new house that they bought. Their relationship is better than it's ever been. And their business grew from $6,000 a month to $20,000 or $25,000 a month in the last 4 months. And they're fucking on fire and looking to explode in a big old way. Got products being accepted into Whole Foods and all this other stuff. When they're at that pinnacle moment, there's no better time to ask them for a referral. So if we had someone with our ear to the ground, like who's really kicking ass? Who is like, holy fuck, Christopher rocks. When we hear that, that's a sign that says, or Christopher rocks, or the Ascension rocks, or whatever. Doesn't matter who the hell they're saying, but when they're like, this fucking rocks, and they're our most avid fans, when we hear that, what should trigger in our head is it's time to implement the referral program. So we've already planted the seeds up front. They already know it's coming. And now in that moment, Brandon or whoever reaches out and says, hey, I'm so fucking glad you're getting the epic results in Ascension. We truly do have the best team and system on the planet. It's really important. We are all about referrals. It's a very important part of our business and our mission to help as many people as possible. It's also very good for you to up-level your loved ones with you so that we can all do this together. Let's take a moment and complete this list and make a game plan to get us in contact, to have you contact them and get us connected with them so that we can get this done. That's all. I'm opening up the floor now.
So would you view that as happening like as an email, like a welcome pack, or like, yeah, I definitely think we get to plant the seeds. That's great. I'm just, we'll make note of it and try to figure out, you know, maybe someone that comes to the event or someone that joins Ascension, they're going to get, you know, a welcome email, and it will be in that email or something.
Well, I'm thinking a video would be more powerful, so it may be a part. If they join Ascension, it may be a part of the intake process.
Love it.
So we record a video, we capture, make an outline for a video, and include that in the intake process.
Okay, and then what
And if it's
events?
a live event, then I don't know the answer to that yet, but I think we need to look into and fill into, okay, live events, they finished the live event, they just had an epic experience, and it might be that at the end of that we say, okay, we're going to record a testimonial video. We capture that, and then the photographer who's videoing that says, here's a form. It's very important that your loved ones up level with you. You know, same enrollment conversation, but you hand them the form right there in that moment. They've just had the pinnacle of the event. They've just shared on camera their hearts. You hand them a paper and a pen and say, fill this out right now, and let's make a game plan about how we're going to reach these people. And the form, it may be good to have the form be structured in such a way that it gets us all the data we need. Like, this is their name, this is their relation to the client, this is their email and their phone number, and this is the game plan we're going to take on approaching this person, like, because it's different for different people. Some people, the best way is a three-way call. Some people, the best way is for me to just call them. A three-way call, what I mean is like a three-way call between the existing client, the referral, and the person that's going to be calling. Some people, it might be a three-way email. So asking, because one of them might be a grandma who doesn't do Facebook and hates email, but wants to be on the phone. The other one might be a frickin' millennial who's all about social media, and the best thing is a three-way messenger thread that the client agrees to connect you in. So the client might on one say, yeah, let's have a three-way call on this person. On this person, I'll call them and set it up for you to call them later. On the next one, it might be, yeah, let's start with a three-way email introduction. The next one, it might be, let's do a three-way messenger introduction. So part of the conversation is asking the client each individual name. Let's make a game plan on the best way to contact and get me connected with each one of these people. And enrolling the client to do most of the sell for you prior to you ever reaching out to those people, so that you're not cold calling someone. You are warm, like hot calling someone that's already been sold by the client.
Sweet. Cool. Brandon, how are you feeling?
I feel awesome. Not only has this like clarified some things around referrals, but like sales in general, to close that door so no one can slip out. Because I've noticed myself doing that in the past, where I'm like, let's touch base this Tuesday, and it was easy for them to slip away.
Awesome.
Epic.
Cool. Well, we'll probably, Brandon will want to create like basically an SOP or a checklist of like, kind of like a one-page script essentially, or like bullet point script of like what he shared. Is that something, can you, if I upload this recording, is that something that you can review and make for yourself so you're comfortable?
Yeah. I have some notes in Evernote too, so I can clean it up.
And I would add to that, Brandon, when you re-listen to the recording, if you listen with the intent of what are the most quality, listen to all the ideas that I shared, and then be thinking of what's the best script and the best all of the best questions, because I didn't touch on all the questions that can be asked, but I did touch on the basic principles. And if you'll tune into inspiration, you'll be able to access a lot more powerful questions in addition to what I shared that will be very helpful.
Awesome.
So have part of your intent like wonderment about what are the most powerful questions and the most powerful ways I can set all this up and implement all of the principles learned in this. So think systematically, think quality questions, think what can I do to take everything that was shared here and make it the absolute best? How can I take what Christopher shared and make it even better? How can I combine it in the most effective and powerful way? And how can I capture all the key principles, all the key strategies, and the highest quality questions from everything that I've gained here today? And how can I improve on all of that? Amanda, from a systems perspective as well, please the same concept, like stay involved in this and make sure that we optimize this, because literally just this referral system, if implemented properly, we could, if you look at landmark trainings, impact trainings, Great Life, The Awakening, any of these old programs that do their shit, they're not the only, 90% of their marketing is exactly this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a strong referral system.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. I think this gives us what we need to keep moving forward, Christopher. So thanks for your time.
Epic. Love you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you all.
Love you.
Have a great rest of the day.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.
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 Yeah.